Okay, before we go to the phones, and Fox in Oakland is on the line. He was there yesterday. Great talking to him. But check this out. On being called a system quarterback,
okay,
Brock Purdy, quote, I don't really care in a sense. People can say what they want, and that's cool. I just want to help this team win and reach our goals, and we'll see at the end of all of this if that's true or not.
Yeah. In other words,
end quote.
If I win and I take us to where I want to take us, then this whole conversation goes away about me being a system quarterback.
I'm not sure that it does.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we got to yesterday.
Yeah.
But again, just to pull apart the statement for a second, because I think it's easy when players go, I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
People,
it's just noise, yeah.
Well, you're a human being, and I think sometimes you do care. So, but what Brock says here is, I don't care, but he sort of also tucks a couple of clues in there that, he does, or at least he hears it. I don't really care in a sense. Not I don't really care. I don't really care in a sense.
Right.
People can say what they want, and that's cool. I just want to help the team win and reach our goals. That's all the cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah.
But then he finishes it with, and we'll see at the end of this if that's true or not. To me, that's, I file it and I do use it as a motivation sensation.
Yeah, and that's a buck, which is, about a tenth of what he makes per game, unfortunately. But I also think that, when he says, we'll see, that also might mean if I end up going somewhere else, then we'll see if I'm really a system guy. Because if he goes on to play football for another team and plays well, then he's not a system guy. And I'm not saying that he's predicting that he's going to go somewhere else, but the whole idea of we'll see, to me, means we'll see how this all plays out. He's only 22?
Yeah, 23.
23?
Yeah, but I again, what I said yesterday, if you weren't with us at the time, I just think that we're in danger of creating a scenario where Brock's not going to get credit even if he does win the Super Bowl, because there's two things that get said about him, and we sort of act like they're the same thing, but they're actually the opposite. And that is, he is a product of his surroundings, and he's a system quarterback. I think a lot of people have gone, same thing. No, actually, total opposites. Product of your surroundings is saying that all your teammates are so good. You've got a superstar at every position around you, and therefore, that's why you succeed. System quarterback suggests that Kyle Shanahan can scheme anybody open, and any old schmuck can stand back there with a little bit of Trent Williams time and deliver a ball to a wide-open receiver. So that would actually suggest that it doesn't even matter who your teammates are. It's the system, not the players. So to me, these are two different things, and depending on how the season goes, people are going to pick one of them. Right? Like, if he wins the whole thing, but let's say there's some pieces missing, Kyle Shanahan, unbelievable. The system, this whole thing, just incredible. Or the Niners will be at full health, and maybe they win that way, and we'll say it'll almost be like the Kevin Durant Warriors sound, which is, oh my gosh, how could you not win it with all of these weapons and players that you have on both sides of the ball? I don't know that an avenue exists for the Niners won the Super Bowl and Brock's a phenomenal quarterback. Well, I don't know if that exists until he wins two.
I think the avenue exists in terms of if he has games where he doesn't have the entire full complement and he wins, and then games where he does have the full complement and he still wins. If he's able to go through an entire season and be healthy and win, regardless of who he has, then you could say system. You could say talent around him. You could say whatever you want, but if he goes through a full year and they win, and if they go on and they win the Super Bowl, all this stuff goes away.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tom Brady did it, and it didn't go away. Not after one. It went away after two. Remember, if you really think back to when Tom Brady won the first one, it was like, wow, this young guy went in there, and there was a good defense, and he just didn't make mistakes, and Bill Belichick, and Adam Vinatieri, and 20-17, and the Patriots won, and he's holding both sides of his head, and there's a great picture with streamers falling out of the sky. I didn't hear anybody after that first one go, dude, that's a great quarterback. He had to do it again. And then years went by and people went, oh, okay, it's the greatest ever.
Well, it depends on how you do it. And the way he did do it that first time was, thanks to a rule that nobody knew about and a kicker who drilled a couple of big kicks in the snow, and they did have a great defense. So if Brock Purdy goes through and has that kind of a run, then he'll get less credit than if he does it the way that he's done it so far, which is averaging 30 points a game.
Was that the first one?
I think so.
Was the Tuck rule the first one?
I thought so.
You might be right. I
also might be wrong.
No,
There's been so many.
I got to look that up. It's no joke. Yeah, look up one of his 18 Super Bowls and figure out if it's the right one. Meantime, let's go to Fox in Oakland here with Willard and Dibs. Hey, Fox, what are you doing?
Gentlemen.
What's up?
Nice to hear you guys again. Hey.
Dude.
Meeting you both yesterday.
So great to see you yesterday. Thank you for bringing your lovely daughter out. I hope we didn't annoy the living hell out of her, but thank you for being there.
No, you didn't at all. Good memory, great memory, and she's just really shy, as I mentioned. So.
Well, they all are at that age. They all are.
100%, yeah. So I've got 3 things for you here, and please bear with me.
Of
and
course.
Willard, actually, I have a question for you at the end. So huge thanks, actually, to Matt, who saw me and my daughter sitting off to the side of the summit, and he came up and gave her a little 95-7 mini basketball. So thanks again, Matt. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Love it. We're glad you had a good time out there, man.
Yeah, I did, even though I had to leave early. But regarding the Niners game on Monday night versus the Warriors game on Tuesday night, and which one I'm looking forward to more, in response to your question, Mark, it's the Monday night game for me, and I think you kind of touched on this about 10 minutes ago. I am eager to see the Niners respond to losing against Cleveland, and hopefully they bounce back in an emphatic manner against the Vikings on Monday. So that's the game I'm looking forward to more, and the game I'm more nervous about, to be honest, compared to Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then lastly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Fox. Bring it home.
Get it.
Thanks, guys. Lastly, last night's Sack Dubs game. I totally agree with your guys' big brother, little brother analogy. The Kings, in my opinion, did the typical little brother thing and they were provocating the Warriors, and you could call it a provocation sensation. I'll pay $1.
Nice.
Which, again, was so adorable. It was so adorable. And then the Warriors ended up pulling a standard big brother move, and it turned into, and I know this isn't really a word, but I'll say it, demoralization sensation. So there you go.
Back-to-back bucks from Fox. Thank you.
Willard, can I just ask you a quick question before I wrap?
Absolutely.
What is the thing in the intro that is something about Dibs that maybe a lot of us don't know? Can you please
oh my God.
go back on that and share?
Okay. Fox?
Man, Fox, you're really pulling the curtain back.
I'm going to pull Peter King. That is a great question. This is a really good question. Now, Fox, you have to take your shirt off. But luckily, you're in the privacy of your own home. Fox,
Right.
thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. There's a few people I want to shout out from yesterday, and Fox is definitely one of them. All right, he's referring to the Open. Let me tell you about something. Let me tell you something about Dibs that not a lot of people know.
Right.
I have to be honest in this moment. I have no freaking idea what I said next. It was 2 years ago.
It was. And it's funny because, like, the things that you and I know about each other now are exponentially greater than what we knew about each other then.
That's true, too.
Even though you and I were talking to a listener yesterday at the summit about the fact that we have known each other for 20 years.
Long time.
And, we've kept in some contact over the years.
Is it 20? Is it really?
It's damn near 20.
What year was that Final Four when...
It might have been 15.
Well, it was Atlanta when Florida, Joakim Noah, just like freaked out.
Yeah.
Florida just blew UCLA off the floor.
I think that was the second that Florida won back-to-back.
And we were sitting with Rod Brooks, I think. Wasn't it the three of us? We were sitting there.
It's so funny.
What up, Rod?
In the upper press.
Way upper. Yeah. Gosh, if you guys knew what they did to this poor radio people at events like that. We're lucky that we're not on the roof.
Totally.
We're lucky that we're under the roof and can actually see.
Might have been 16 or 17 years.
Okay.
Because
anyway,
I spent 5 years at the other station, and during those 5 years, I went to the Final Four all 5 years. And Rod and I remember being at the Alamo Dome with him in San Antonio when Kansas Rock Chalk Jayhawk beat Memphis in the final. When Douglas Roberts missed those free throws, Derrick Rose came up. He played great, but they were unable to get the W. So
I'm trying to think of what I might have been referring to.
Yeah.
I might have been referring to the fact that the first time you and I talked about being radio partners, it was not going to be in this market.
No.
It was going to be
at the Beast 980.
It was probably going to be in Southern California.
Yeah.
And then that never ever came to pass. And then I think the first time I called you once I had come back home to the Bay Area was after I went to T&B Sports in San Rafael to buy basketball uniforms for my kids for the CYO season.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, who's behind the register as I make the purchase? Your brother.
Yeah.
Your brother was there working at T&B.
Yes.
And then I had to call you on the way home. I'm like, your crazy brother just got me my basketball uniforms. I'm like, I didn't see that coming. And he was the one who put two and two together.
Yes.
So,
Mikey 2.0 was working at T&B.